Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into something really fun, how to make your Python programs less predictable. We're going to give them that little spark of randomness that makes things like games and apps feel way more alive. So let's get right into it. Have you ever played a game and just wondered, how does it feel different every single time? How does it keep surprising you? Well, that secret sauce is randomness. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to use it in your own Python projects. So, what do we even mean by random values? Put simply, it's a number or a value that changes every time you hit run on your code. And this isn't just for, making things messy. It's a seriously powerful tool for building everything from a simple dice rolling app to huge, sprawling worlds in a video game. Okay, so to get a handle on all this randomness, you're going to need the right tool for the job. So let's add a brand new function to your programming toolkit. Say hello to randrange. This is where the real fun begins. The randrange function is honestly super simple. You just give it two numbers, a low end of the range and high end, and bam, it spits out a random whole number somewhere in between. It's that straightforward, and you're going to find it's incredibly useful. And check this out. This one line of code shows you exactly what I mean. Here, we're setting the radius for a circle. But instead of just picking a number like 50, we're using randrange 2150. So now every time the program runs, that circle will have a totally different size. That's what we mean by dynamic code. All right, you've got the basics down, but now it's time for the first little gotcha. This is a tiny detail that trips up so many people when they're starting out. But once you know the secret, you're golden. So here's the secret. The randrange function will never actually give you the high number you put in. So if you write randrange 13, your brain might think, okay, it'll give me a 1, a 2, or a 3. But nope, it'll only ever return a 1 or a 2. That high value, the 3, is like an electric fence. It's the boundary, but not a place you can actually land. Okay, pop quiz. Let's see if you've got it. Based on that rule we just talked about, if you see the code randrange 2, 5, what are all the possible numbers you could get back? Think about it for a sec. The answer is B. You could get a 2, a 3, or 4. But remember, you'll never get the high value, which is 5. If you got that, you're crushing it. Awesome. Now that you've got the whole high value thing down, let's level up and learn a real pro move. This is a technique that's going to make your code way more efficient and save you from some really common and kind of frustrating bugs. Okay, let's go back to our circle program. We've got the circle, and we want to put a little label on the screen that tells us it's a radius. So what do you think would happen if we use randrange to set the circle size, and then we call randrange a second time to create the text for the label? Do you think they'll match? And the answer is they absolutely will not. This is such a classic mistake. You've got to remember, every single time you call randrange, it's like rolling the dice again. It generates a brand new, totally separate random number. So your circle gets one random size, and your label shows a completely different random number. Your program's broken. The solution, thankfully, is so simple. The rule is store it, don't re-roll it. You just call randrange one time, just once. You save that number in a variable, we can call it new radius, and then you use that same variable for everything you need to do. You use new radius to set the circle's size, and you use new radius to set the label's text. Perfect match every time. Okay, we're almost done. Just one last thing. This is a really practical tip, and trust me, it's going to be a lifesaver when you're working on school assignments, especially if they use something called an autograder. So a lot of assignments use an autograder to check your work. And for those assignments, you'll often be given some starter code that already has the random number stuff in it. Now listen up, because this is critical. Do not touch that code. Don't edit it, don't change it. The autograder needs that code to be exactly as it is to test your solution. If you change it, the grader will be expecting one set of random numbers, and your code will be generating something else, and it'll mark your work wrong, even if your logic was perfect. And that's a wrap. You now know how to bring a little bit of controlled chaos into your Python programs. You know how randrange works, you know the secret about the high value rule, and you've learned the pro move of storing your random values. You can make things more dynamic, more engaging, and honestly, just a lot more fun. So really, the only question left is, what unpredictable thing are you going to build first?